Shalom, brothers and sisters, and welcome to our program Mental Health and Care. Last time we saw what is mental health and the process of addiction. But when we open our radios and we are reading our newspapers, we are realizing that there is a lot of difficulties in families. People are killing each other in families. Then today I want to ask our guest, Mr. Onyango, is this having something to do with mental health?
Yes, this has a lot to do with problems of mental health. And one clear aspect of mental health problems is that when a problem is noticed or screened in a family, then people tend to have difficulties in coping mechanisms and understanding the problem. For instance, when a problem occurs in the family as a pathological disorder, psychopathological disorder, like addiction, then people tend to not understand how to cope with it, and they don't have the pathophysiology of the real thing, like they don't understand what the problem is. And so the problem with coping and not understanding causes about displacement and other factors that can cause tension, anger, anxiety, and other disorders in its wide sense. Yeah. So in other words, when a problem occurs in the family, like psychopathological issue like addiction, then people have a tendency of entering into a term that we call codependency. Codependency is a term that means that you remove the consequence of a behavior from somebody who is affected, or you become more sick by somebody's character. So this invites other conditions in you that you don't expect. Like people tend to lose the self-concept, not knowing your role towards the person who is affected. The sense of, am I the one who is supposed to handle him? Am I supposed to correct him? Or what will happen? And then you go into the belief system, like our family is cursed. Then the consequence of it is that we are frustrated, we are going to die, and this kind of thing. So it creates about a dysfunction in the family, which can be in totality a sense of a result or effect of mental health problems.
Okay. If I understand you well, it is like when there is a problem in the family, we don't go to the root cause of the problem. We don't check, but we kind of cut the leaves of the tree, and it may affect the family.
Exactly. What happens is this: mental health issues are actually gradual. And when you notice them, maybe they are advanced to a certain stage. And so people tend to trace the root cause sometimes in an abnormal way, like what we call hypochondriasis. Hypochondriasis is a situation where there is an abnormal anxiety about a situation or a sickness. Okay? So we get to magnify this because we have funny ways of interventions. In the African society, we'll visit a witch person or a sorcerer to try and establish where the problem is. We sometimes get information from other people with style because of the social acceptance in the society. Maybe I'm the chairman of a parish and something is happening in my family that I don't want to disclose. So I'll use other ways in trying to get what the problem is. In that way, I'll get so much frustrated and the family will become dysfunctional. There is a mother of family in psychology called Virginia Satir. She has talked about the subsystems of communication in a family. And these subsystems, when they are not working well, the parent-to-parent system, subsystem, the parent to child and the sibling to sibling, then there's a family dysfunction. That in itself is sickness. Because we all love to be happy, we all love pleasure, we all love to, we don't think about the bad moments. So when it hits us, when you're not prepared, then the confusion arises. A confusion arises in the family, and then we tend to project this confusion to other things. You can find somebody becoming more, you become a workaholic, you get into other ways to try to divert the same problem.
Yeah.
If a snake comes your way, like in a farm, you'll hit it so hard to try and displace your problem. Or if you're a teacher and a kid annoys you in school, you slap the kid hard. So we tend to displace this because we are not prepared in solving that problem. So it creates about other issues. The right word of what I notice mostly is what we call affective incongruity, being incongruent. Like a disaster strike, somebody laughs, or you are in a happy moment and somebody is annoyed. So that is a confusion, and it creates about other problems of mental health.
Wow, we can see how mental health is very important in a family or in a relationship. And it brings us always to realize that all that we do might have been triggered by something.
Yes, of course, it's triggered by something, and it comes in a very simple way. Then it grows to become big. I remember something that makes me very happy. Like, if you don't know how to do something sometimes, you don't seek help. You want to prove to people that you know everything is okay. And that is the image that we put on outside. You know, we are okay. And yet there's a problem. It takes only like 2 or 1 person in the family to try and solve the problem. So mental health problems usually, after they have been noticed, there's a right way of solving with an awareness. First of all, to know that you are Evaristus, and your name will not change. Okay? The society will label you because of what we call the labeling in the society. Like Father Evaristus is having a mad boy in the house, because in our languages we don't have a language for placing disorders, but we call it madu and azimu. And so the society will label you, but your name will remain the same. But again, you'll be the father or a brother to somebody who has a problem. So if that understanding is brought and you are self-aware of who you are, then it becomes easier for you to manage and cope with that kind of a situation. I can give different examples of this kind of situations, like addiction in itself, but there are others that come up as a result of conditions that somebody experienced, maybe in the environment or in the family, etc. For instance, there is what we call anhedonia, a condition where your pleasure is minimized. You don't get pleasure anymore. And so you end up getting into something that gives you pleasure. If you have such a person in the family, then the person will cause confusion to the whole family and friends and relatives who are around him. Because you'll think that this person should be isolated. He should not be put in the midst of people. Just because he's somebody who's always mourning, who's not happy. Until he's given alcohol or bang, this is the time the person knows
he's happy.
He's happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, according to you, if mental health can affect the family or living together, what are the possible solutions or the possible advice you can give families today?
Thank you very much. Dr. Bill and Bob in the 12-step fellowship developed what we call Al-Anon. Al-Anon is a fellowship where family is brought together with the victims, or sometimes the members of the family will come on their own, and they are taught skills on how to handle the victims. The other way is to give education, a general education like what we are doing, on different conditions and how to handle them. And then there is what we call something that we leave to God to help. The belief in the higher power that opens you up, and you are very easy at identifying a problem. Then you seek help. Yes. So families should be made aware in a way, maybe in a fellowship, by doing psychoeducation, and then with God, of course, everything is possible.
Now it is this awareness. I think our society does not know about these things. Even about mental health, because when we will tell somebody about mental health, we will think of a madman. how can we try to bring the family to be aware of this situation that is real?
One way that I see that is very good is translating this into our vernacular, because
Okay.
we don't have a place for depression in the
Yeah.
African society,
Yeah.
even in my own language.
Yeah.
We'll just tell you Janeko. Janeko in this case means mwendazimu. English has tried to place it somewhere. Schizophrenia
Yeah.
and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
So one of the ways is to make them understand that this is a sickness like any other. And coping with this will help us heal,
Yeah.
because we will be affected by a condition.
Yeah.
But if we have ways of managing and coping, then we'll be healed, because
Okay.
all of us will be sick in the family. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And there is a belief in the traditional African society that when somebody is sick, it can be contagious, pass to you. So the way in which you can control this is by finding
getting
a way
away.
of coping. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. Would you have a last word to our viewers?
I have a last word, and this last word is that we should be aware of our inner self,
Yes.
the inner conflicts that we have.
Yeah.
Because these inner conflicts can make us more sick than even the person with a mental health problem. Thank you.
Viewers, thank you for watching us, and I think he's promising next time what we'll discuss about will be the inner self, the inner, all that he will tell us next time. But I'm happy and I thank him for helping us to know that we are all sick. We are all sick. We need to cope. We need to realize that we are sick and let the society help us. Thank you, viewers, and thank you, Mr. Onyango.
Thank you very much.
And see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.